Hey! It's the noon train on time?
Supposed to be.
Feels like it's time.
Fair enough.
BBN Jack Fruits. What's up, party people? How's everybody doing? I'm hoping everybody's having a beautiful day. We got a lot to talk about over here. So hold on, let me fix this shit. First thing I want to say is, allegedly, I'm gonna believe it. I got an audio I'm gonna play here for y'all. We're not gonna put up no actual graphics. I just have an audio I'm gonna play. And I actually believe this. But apparently, the U.S. have struck Ecuador. Allegedly.
All right, we have some breaking news coming in from South America. The U.S. military has now launched an operation in Ecuador targeting alleged narco-terrorists.
U.S. military Southern Command said that the Ecuadorian and U.S. forces launched operations against what it said were designated terrorist organizations in Ecuador. It said that the action was meant to combat illicit drug trafficking, but did not provide more details.
Now, the statement did say that the operations are a powerful example of the commitment of partners in Latin America and the Caribbean to combat the scourge of narco-terrorism. This is breaking news just coming in from South America. The U.S. military has now launched an operation in Ecuador. It is targeting alleged narco-terrorists.
And the U.S. military Southern Command has said that the Ecuadorian and U.S. forces launched operations against what they have described as designated terrorist organizations in Ecuador. It said that the action was meant to combat illicit drug trafficking, but did not provide more details of the matter.
The statement said the operations are a powerful example of the commitment of partners in Latin America and the Caribbean to combat the scourge of narco-terrorism.
Just so we could be clear, not only has America, U.S. allegedly attacked, there's other countries in the region actually helping with the attack. I'm about to go somewhere with this. Give me 1 second.
Well, for our viewers who are just joining us, this is the latest we're getting. The U.S. military has launched an operation in Ecuador targeting alleged narco-terrorists. The U.S. military Southern Command has said that Ecuadorian and U.S. forces
I believe it's going to just loop.
Against what they've called designated terrorist organizations.
So I want to be clear about something. And we're going to talk about Jasmine Crockett also today. I want to be clear about something. This is not a knock. I'm not trying to drag nobody. This is no disrespect. Ever since the beginning, I've been saying we have to, be open-minded to a lot of people who currently are part of the Democratic Party because they're used to a different Democratic Party. What the Democratic Party is currently doing, they're not necessarily for. It's just they've always been a Democrat. And there's this idea that Republicans are racist. So there's no option of being a Republican if you're black. That's not an option. A lot of people believe this. You shouldn't believe that. But a lot of people believe this. There's no option. We can't be a Republican. A whole new party has to start. Republican, racist. We have to get away from this. I'm going to explain something real quick. So anybody that's been around since the 80s or the 90s, y'all should fall right in, right? Pay attention. So what have we been hearing about for years? And when I mean years, I mean forever. That the U.S. goes and disrupts other countries and usurps their government and then send in a puppet government in order to run the government and then do the things that they want to do, right? This is what we've been hearing all this time, right? And I'm not saying that this isn't something that's true, but I need for y'all to keep this in mind when I explain to you what I believe is happening. So we've been hearing about this for years. The U.S. goes and, like with the Gaddafi situation, right? Right? That's Lebanon, right? What right? I'm trying to think of some other leaders, but I can't think of any off the top of my head at the moment. So, what do you think is going on right now? When they were putting these leaders up into these positions of these countries and ruling through them, let's say it was 100% our government. The problem is that you people think if one part of our government is doing something, that means all parts of our government is doing it. And that's not the way that works. Our government fights itself just as much as it fights, or more, sometimes, other nations. So until we can just consider that our government isn't operating in total coordination with each other, a lot of what I'm going to say will not make sense. And just so we can be clear, if you believe that the entirety of the government is working together and no one is separate, everybody is working towards the same goal, 100%. If you believe this, I'm going to pray for you, because no disrespect intended, but I think you could use some help with critical thinking skills. I think people that think that way don't think on their own. They spend a lot of time hearing things other people saying and taking that as their opinion. So if now over the last 50, 60, 70 years, the U.S. government has been removing people from other governments that they didn't like and inserting their own people, what do you think Trump is doing right now? And why do you think the Democrats are so pissed? Trump goes into Venezuela, removes Maduro, who is one of the top narco-terrorists on the planet. This is not a question. This is undebatable. And not one of the top narco-terrorists in his country, one of the top narco-terrorists on the planet. Cartels buy from him. Trump goes and removes him. Democrats are pissed. Why? The Democrats say he's a fine leader at first. Did the Democrats have him installed in that government? He did help them with the election, allegedly, with the machines, the Oblivion machines, allegedly. I'm going to explain to y'all what's happening, and Trump is not doing this on purpose. This is just a byproduct of everything that's going on. Do y'all remember when Trump, before he got elected, and we were having a conversation, and I said, you know what Trump should do when he gets elected? He should find out everything that the people of America want and then just do that. That's all he got to do. Because the Democrats are just going to go against it. It don't matter what it is. Y'all remember when I said that? I said, you know what Trump should do? He should just, whatever the American people want, he should just do that. He doesn't even need to think up anything. Like, yeah, they have the stuff that they want to do. They ran on it, and they're going to get it done. But besides that, he should just look at what the American population want in large and sensible stuff, not this crazy, insane things. But, 70% of the people want this. Let's do it. I told y'all this is what he should do. 80% of the people want that. Let's do it. Because anything he does, the Democrats are going to be against. I heard a preacher say that you cannot be a Christian and vote Democrat. I wish I still had the video somewhere. Let me see if I saved it. Give me 1 second. I had to look at the video about 4 or 5 times because I was like, is this AI? I, in fact, did not save it. I wish I would have saved it. In any regard, the preacher was listing the reasons why you cannot be a Christian and vote Democrat. And he was listing reasons that even went beyond the normal reasons that I say, that is like surface level reasons. These guys promote homosexuality. You can't. For everybody that don't know or get this, Jesus was about love, yes. But Jesus also said, just so we could be clear, like I'll give you an example, when they were stoning a lady for her adultery, and Jesus walked up and he said, he without sin cast the first stone. Everybody stopped throwing stones. Then he turns to her and he says, you are forgiven, don't sin again. So when you're forgiven because Jesus is all love, you're forgiven on the basis that you're not going to continue to do the sin, not that you're going to live in it. Jesus sat with sinners. He didn't sin with them. You cannot be a Christian and vote Democrat. Not a real Christian. I'm sorry. For the people who are Christians, you're going to vote Democrat no matter what, and you pissed off at me and you cursing me and all that. See, you're not a Christian. You're supposed to be praying for me. If I'm wrong. And if I'm right, you're still supposed to be praying for me. Because I'm praying for you. Just so we can be clear. So let me get this right. When Maduro is removed, the Democrats lose their mind. When this dude over here, the Ayatollah, is removed, the Democrats lose their mind. Why does it sound like the Democrats is in bed with the Ayatollah? Besides the fact that Obama gave him 1.6 million and Biden gave him, I think, 4 million. Terrorist organization. Besides the fact that the Democratic Party gave them all of those money and resources in order for them to be able to cause terror throughout the world. Besides that, besides all the support, besides the fact they don't only want Maduro freed, but they want him returned and reinstalled in Venezuela. Yeah, do you understand how insane that is? A guy that we know is one of the biggest, if not the biggest, narco-terrorists on the planet. The Democrats don't only want him freed, but want him reinstalled. Let's go a little bit further, because I'm actually making the point great, but I'm going over a lot of old stuff. So now they attack Ecuador. I'm going to say something, and I need for y'all to listen and pay attention. The only reason why they didn't attack Cuba, because there's no need. They're starving Cuba as we speak. Where did Cuba has so many sanctions against themselves. The only people that actually trade and bring income into Cuba is the narco terrorists. Places like China, Russia, but now they can't do business with Cuba because Trump is there. They don't have Cuba nor Venezuela in order to put their military in our region because Trump is there. I'm going to tell you just how crazy. Bear with me. I'm about to tell you just how crazy TDS is. So, there's a strait in the Middle East that all of the oil basically moves through. And in order for the strait to go through there, it's like some of that area is kind of governed or owned, or it could be, Iran could get in the way. Iran. So Iran said, right, basically, if y'all use that, we destroy everything. Nothing coming through here, right? Recently. So there's only one insurance agency on the planet that can insure those oil rigs, and that's Lloyd's of London. So in order to make Trump look bad, Lloyd's of London said we're not insuring any of those freighters. You know what Trump did? He said, not a problem. We'll insure them. Did Trump just get America another contract? Do you know how much money America's going to make off of insuring that fucking strait? This is how God's work looks. When the enemy attacks you and you benefit. This is how God's work looks for everyone that don't get it. When the enemy attacks you and you benefit, that's God's work at hand. I'm going to explain this one more time for the people in the back. There's a strait where the oil has to go to for that entire region. The only insurance company on the planet who had the money and resources in order to insure those freights, those whatever the hell, was Lloyd's of London. Because Lloyd's of London did this, they were basically one of the biggest freaking financial centers on the planet. Are you listening? The U.S. even said they're going to send ships with the freighters to make sure they're protected. Lloyd's of London didn't do that. Lloyd's of London wasn't sending freaking security. The U.S. government just picked up a contract that's worth trillions of dollars a year. All because Satan had their work at hand. See, this is how God works. And for anybody that's going to be upset and be like, God can't be with Trump. I need for you to understand this. Stop thinking any of us can tell God where he can't be or can't be. Because first of all, he's everywhere. Just so we can be clear. It always kills me when people be like, God can't be helping that person for this random reason because of your opinion. I need for y'all to, I'm going to say this. I was going to save this for later, but I want to say this now. Why is it that the Democrats, ever since Trump has started putting the spotlight on the mainstream media, and they haven't They had to cut down on their blatant lies. They still blatantly lie all the time. But they had to cut down on it because they're losing sponsorship, because they're losing viewership. And because the monies that would have replaced that ain't there no more, because Trump got rid of all of the places they used to steal from. All of the places they used to steal from, Trump got rid of them. There is no more NGOs. See, people don't get it. I think all those Hollywood movies is failing. That's a whole nother story. We're not on that right now, but we could talk about that at a different time. But that's a whole nother story. Hold on 1 second. What up, Ashar? I want to show y'all something real quick. Because why is it that the Democrats are constantly being caught in lies, especially just constantly? Check this out. And they're just so blatant with it.
Court speaking. First sentence, first 7 words. Due to inaccurate statements by the governor, Ramsey County District. This is the court speaking. First sentence, first 7 words. Due to inaccurate statements by the governor, Ramsey County District Court judge has issued and authorized that this following news released. That's pretty straightforward. So the court's lying?
I can't tell you, Congressman, but the interpretation.
Somebody's lying, because you can't say the court ordered you to restart the payments, and then the court says we didn't order you to restart the payments. So either you're lying or the court's lying. And I'm just asking you, which one is it?
I just simply know what the attorneys at the agency believe, that it was a misinterpretation.
Could
and
it
I would
be-
note that those
Could
payments.
it be you were trying to hide behind the court, Governor? Could that maybe be the reason why you issued the statements you did and why the court had to do something you...
I don't even remember. I can't think of a time where a court really just made a statement because somebody was lying. I'm pretty sure it's happened. But I can't think of a time. I can't think of an instance where somebody lied so egregiously into the press that the courts was just like... I think it has happened in recent time, and I think it was them coming out about a Trump thing also, maybe like a summer or 2 ago. But this is not something that really happens. I need to express this to you. I got another thing. Just showing y'all. The Democrats just lie. Please stop listening to them. Please stop listening to them. I didn't get the video, so I'll tell you. We go to move to the Jasmine Crockett thing, and then I'm going to get back to this war shit. Listen and pay attention. Jasmine Crockett. She had like some council, some Senate seat, not Senate, some, I don't know, whatever seat she had. And then she ran for Senate. Whatever the seat was she had is, they moved the districts around and redistrict. And because of the way that they redistrict, now it was fair. And since it was fair, she had no way of winning. So she ran for Senate because she didn't just want to say, I know I can't win now, I'm just going to give up. And also, when you run for an office, that's money making because you get donations and everything else. If you don't spend everything, that's money you just made. And that's how they run it. With that being said, she runs for Senate. She's at the place where she's going to give her speech because she's not winning. This is the point where the gap between her and the dude that was running against her was so big, and it was so many districts that was already in that you could tell like it's too much ground to make up. So that at some point, I'm guessing somebody came to her and just said, look, it don't look good. In order for you to win this one, people are gonna have to go home. We're gonna have to pull up with fake ballots. They probably just told her. So she comes out and she speaks, right? This is the part that is the issue that I have with the Democratic politicians, not the voters. The voters, I wish y'all had better people in y'all party to vote for. That's all I can say. Because I know you don't want to vote Republican. You want to vote Democrat. And I also believe that we need a two-party system at the very minimum in order to be able to run and function fairly. Just so we can be clear. So she gets up on the podium where she's about to tell everybody about how she wasn't successful. You know, it didn't work out well. I'm not trying to, you know, get into her or disrespect her more. You know, she had a bad night. So she get up on the podium. And you want to know who she blamed? She blamed Republicans. It was a Democratic primary. Republicans had nothing to do with anything. She lost to a Democrat, a white guy. Do you know what part of Jasmine Crockett's campaigning is? Going around to everybody that'll listen and talk about how Latinos and white people, they're stupid. Yeah, she just goes around insulting Latinos and white people. Like she don't need those people to vote for her. Yeah. And now that she didn't get elected, it's racist. I agree, it is racist. The racism that you were displaying against other people convinced them to not vote for you. It's 100% racism. I agree. You shouldn't have been racist. So that's the issue that I have with, that's part of some of the issues that I have with the elected Democratic people. They just lie. And now my friends and family is around walking out here in the street saying stupid shit. Because I promise you there's going to be so many black people in America right today that's going to be talking about Jasmine Crockett lost and it was racism. No, not racism. It's the Republicans. Or racism. It was racism. Her racism. But they're going to blame Republicans. They're going to blame white people. And they're going to blame every other race of people. Instead of blaming Jasmine Crockett. Have you ever had a position? It was, what were you ever fighting for? Or you would say, if somebody asked you what you was trying to get accomplished, you just say down with Trump. What were you trying to actually do? They showed me pictures of your district, Jasmine Crockett. It looked terrible. It looked like every single place in your district is the front yard of the Sanford and Sons house. That's what it looks like. It looks like all of the businesses in your district is automotive repair companies, but they're not real companies. They're all shady tree guys. That's what it looks like. Do something for the people in your community. Oh. If you were actually working and doing your job, you wouldn't have time to talk shit about Trump. You see how the Democrats are failing their people? Let's say I was a Democrat, right? And let's say I was an elected figure. Trump comes into power. I'm busy working in my community trying to get stuff done. The people in my community, all they want to talk about is how much they hate Trump. They don't want to talk about nothing else. Guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to keep working for the people in my community. You want to know why? Because I might need to run in a different community after this. So I'm going to do everything I can for those people in my community. I'm going to bring them all the resources that they need. I'm going to try to build up as many places as possible. I'm going to try to get the city, government, state, whoever, to make sure that our streets look good, crime is down, everything. Because next election, I'm going to have to run in a different district because you niggas is crazy. You want me to spend all of my time telling y'all about how I hate Trump, sitting around gossiping about Trump, instead of doing my job. That's what y'all want. That's what y'all want y'all politicians to do. That's what you want Nancy Pelosi to do. That's what you want Chuck Schumer to do. That's what you want Garrett Jeffries. That's that guy name. Whatever his name is. Hakeem Jeffries. That's what y'all want these guys to do. Y'all don't want them to actually do anything that's going to help the American people. Y'all just want them to stop Trump from doing whatever Trump's doing and sit around and talk about him. So y'all just want whatever happens destroyed. Y'all want nothing to work. Y'all want everything to fail. Nah, I'm gonna do everything I can for those people. I'm not even gonna tell them that they crazy. Laugh, joke with them, keep my opinions to myself, and then I'm going to announce at some point, I'm going to look around to some district that needs some help that isn't getting any help, but they got reasonable people in that district. And then I'm going to go over there and campaign. Look what I'm doing for my people. I promise you. That's what I'm doing. I'm not going to fight with you, fam. I am not going to fight with you. And I'm not going out like a... I'm not going against God. And I'm not going to fight with you. I'm not doing neither one of those things. I'm here to help. You don't want the help? Not a problem. I'm going to move on and I'm going to go help people that want the help. I want to say something real quick and then I'm going to go back to the war. I'd rather help someone who is hard to help, but they want the help. Like they want it. But it's hard to help them because of whatever stresses or whatever abuse or trauma they might have went through in their life. So it's just hard to help them. I'd rather help them. 100%. Not even a question. Over those type of people. I don't want to waste my time trying to help somebody that no matter what I do, they're not going to appreciate. And I'm kind of okay with that because I don't really need nobody to appreciate anything. But I'm not going to help you and you going to be working against whatever help I'm trying to give you. I'm not going to be helping you. And there's people over there that want me to help you and you don't even want me to help you. But those people over there, they want me to help them. Now I'm wasting all of my help over here on you and you don't even appreciate it. You don't want it. But those people over there, if I help them, they're going to love me. Why would I help you? Why would I stay there? I hope those people, they're going to love me. I hope you, I'm going to be treated like I'm not even that important and I could walk away any old day. We don't really need you around here. When I help you. But when I help those people, they love me. They embrace me. They hug me. So now I'm moving right out of your district. I'm not even mad at you. That district over there, we on the same type of time. This district over here, y'all want to do all types of things that don't make sense to me. So that's why Jasmine Crockett is out the door. She spent all of her time and energy anti-Trump and not enough time and energy getting shit done in her community. Maybe I need to increase the sanitation budget. First, I seen the place. We need to double the sanitation budget. Because we need to raise the rate of whatever sanitation is getting. They need to get paid more. Because we need to get people that want to do it. See, when you pay nothing or a little bit, that person got to have it in their heart. I'm going to say that again. When you're paying somebody nothing or you paying somebody only a little bit, that person got to have whatever that thing is that's being done in their heart. This got to be something they want to do. And that's why you pay people to collect garbage. Good money. So we're going to pay those guys good money. We're going to hire more people. We're going to get more garbage trucks and figure this out. Because that place was a dump. The schools got to be bad. The streets look so... Jasmine Crockett's district streets look so terrible, you know the schools are bad. You know they got terrible schools. You know it. Pisses me off so much when I keep hearing all of these black people specifically talking about her like she's not doing anything to help us, man. Nothing she's doing helps us. Not one of these black people that spent all day talking about racism is helping us. Not one. Not one. Imagine believing in Jesus and deciding to allow racism to have power over your decisions in life. I'm going to say that again. Imagine believing in Jesus and you allow racism to affect the decisions that you make in your life. Let's talk about the war. I'm done with Jasmine Crockett. We're all done with Jasmine Crockett. She's over. Imagine, and I just want to point something out. She can't even write a book about what she did in Congress. What she did in D.C. I forgot what seat she had, but what she did in D.C. Because all she did was talk about Trump. I've never heard her talk about a policy that was hers. I've never heard her talk about anything that she's trying to do in the community. I've never heard of no bill she was introducing that has something to do with helping the people. Nothing. Nothing. I'm starting to believe that some of y'all can't leave the Democratic Party because y'all just not like God. Your name ain't in the book of the life. I'm dead. Hand to God. I'm starting to believe some of y'all can't leave the Democratic Party because y'all already sold your soul to Satan and you just don't know it. But you can't even sell your soul to Satan, to be honest with you. You just up here. You've been tricked. You can't sell your soul because you don't own your soul. God owns your soul. You can't sell your soul to Satan. It's a trick. It's a trick. Why do you think they have so many movies and books and everything about selling your soul to Satan? They want to convince you that it's possible. It's not possible. God owns our souls. You cannot sell your soul to Satan. You don't own it. In any regard. But these people are working and they believe they've sold their soul to Satan. And that's why I think that they can't leave the Democratic Party. I think that they can't. Because especially black people, I just want to say this, and this is not me shooting at us. Believe me, I don't know a black person that has a harder time with black people than I do. Y'all just, like, they got this new thing where whenever I'm outside, people, especially black people, they want to, I don't know why, but they want to smoke cigarettes around me and blow smoke at me. I don't know what this is about. I just assume whenever I see people doing this, okay, you hate me, and you hate me. Great. Those y'all people I don't never got to talk to. And that's the way I see it. I'm just keeping it a stack with you. Whenever I see somebody look at me and light a cigarette, that's God talking to me. He telling me to stay away from you. And that's the way I accept it. I'm just keeping it a stack with you. In any regard. Yeah. So black people feel however they feel about me. Shout out to y'all. I actually love y'all. And I pray that more of us find Jesus and you know, go through that rebirth and become reborn and anew in Jesus' name. You know, I pray more of us do that. You know, I don't care that you hate me. I don't care. Whatever, nigga. It's what it is, man. This ain't about me. Like, I know I get it. People might think it is, but it's not about me, man. It's fine. You hate me. It's fine. I hope you find Jesus, though. For real. In any regard. They got this thing. I don't know why. Like, they just gotta. So every single person I see do that, I just mentally note it and I just avoid them for the rest of my life. That's what I do, fam. I'm not gonna argue. Imagine fighting over some nigga because they smoking a cigarette next to you. No, I'm not doing that. I just gonna avoid you to the day we die, and then that's it. And we could just go about our life. You go about your life smoking cigarettes every time you see me. In any regard, let's get back to the war thing. I want to express this. What Trump is doing by attacking these smaller nations is making it so that China can't attack him. By taking out Venezuela and in Iran, what you did was Trump destroyed that whole hub of illegally sold oil. They've been shipping containers of oil all over to each other that weren't supposed to happen because there's sanctions. So when Trump goes, and I just need y'all to understand this, because the politicians, with the exception of probably AOC and freaking Jasmine Crockett, because they're complete idiots. With the exception of them, all these other politicians know this thing that I'm about to say to you. So when Trump prevents Venezuela from illegally giving the oil to Cuba, then Cuba sells the oil to Russia and to China illegally. This is what's been happening. So Trump goes, and y'all say he loves Putin. I don't get it. I'm gonna tell y'all what it is. A lot of y'all never been around niggas that was scared of you. I'm gonna say that again. Part of my language, because I have to say it like that. A lot of y'all never been around niggas that was scared of you. Y'all never had that situation. So y'all probably been around people you think is scared of you, or be around people who, they don't really care for you. So you think they scared of you, but in reality they just avoiding you because you a nuisance. Y'all probably been around those people, but you've never really been around people who are fearful that they might be physically injured around you if they say the wrong thing, because you're not somebody to play with. I feel that there isn't many that people haven't had that experience. And the reason why I'm saying that is because I in no way, in zero way, have I ever seen Trump go around any other world leader and look like he isn't the nigga that's gonna punch them in the face. I've never seen this. Every time Trump is around any world leader, he look like he about to debo them. So this whole Trump is scared of Putin bullshit, or whatever y'all got going on with that, that's crazy. Trump just cut off all the fuel, the illegal sanctioned oil that Russia was getting. Trump cut it off. He cut off they say I said he's scared of Xi. Xi. The emperor or minute, I don't know what the fuck they call that guy. But the dude from China. He cut off their oil. I don't think y'all understand how big of a deal this is. They might have to start deciding what part of the country they want to have lights on at night in a couple of months, if they don't make a deal. They may have to start deciding what cities they want freaking energy in. I don't think y'all understand how this works. How they supposed to fuel their war machine if you don't got fuel? Then Trump goes after Iran. What does that do? Iran was also doing the sanction oil thing. Don't get it confused. But now, even before what Lloyd's of London did, now Trump, America controls that entire strait where they send the oil tankers through to go from one place to another. Then Lloyd's of London say we're not insuring no boats. Trump say we do it. Now, Lord, that's a what's over trillion? It's that number business. Hold on, what's the name of that damn strait? Hold on over here. It don't make sense, man. What's the name of the strait that Lloyd's of London just stopped insuring ocean liners through? Oil liners.
Activists blocked the entrance to Lloyd's of London on Lime Street in London.
God dang it.
On April 12, 2022. The protesters
Straight,
were
not
located
street.
At 1 Lime Street.
Okay,
Protested against the company
you know what?
insuring
That's
fossil
on
fuel
me.
projects.
That's on me. I'm not real good with talking. That's not real good. The Strait of Hormuz. Oh, no, what? Let me put it up on the screen. I hate that it does this. And I can't. Okay. So I am trying to. There we go. Boom. I hate that it does that. Okay. It did it again. There we go. All right. What in the hell is all of this? Oh, what the? Okay, we're just gonna make that a little smaller. Okay. Okay, there we go. Alright, so what's this shit's called? No, HG. What's it? Alright, so this is it, right? So basically, let me get an image. Shouldn't that be plus and up? Like what? Oh shit! Part of my language. All right, so we'll use one of these images. Why don't I just grab one and then take it out? All right, because this is annoying. All right, boom. This is annoying. Give me 1 second. What in the hell? Where did I put it? I ain't got time for this. I don't want to save this link. Hey, let me save this bad boy. Hold on. This is just doing too much right now. There we go. Sheesh. Ah, that's why I can't. It's a web file. All right, hold on. Ah, it's an AVI file. That might work though. Hold on. All right, this is probably a better image though. They gonna let me get it? They gonna let me get it. All right. Okay. Sheesh. I don't think they let me get it. I think something else happened. Come on, man. Sheesh, man. Anyway, we're going to look at it through here because I'm trying to get it bigger for y'all, but it's doing everything else other than that. Let me see something. There we go. Boom. This is not it. This is absolutely not it. All right. There we go. All right. God dang it. All right. Pardon my language. That was a lot going on for me. I don't know about y'all. There's a lot going on. Let me make this a little bit larger. All right, so we got this discussion. All right. Okay. There we go. All right, so just so we can be clear, and it got numbers on here. Oil and petrol productions, 20, whatever. Anyway, so this is the Strait of Hormuz. You see that thing right there? Let me see if I can zoom in. Oh, Lord. Anyway, so I think y'all can see the cursor. So you see the strait right here? So this strait right here, this is where the oil is coming from, right? So you see Saudi Arabia, Iraq, Iran. The oil has to come through this thing right here and from there it goes to Europe, and from there it goes to Asia. You understand? Now, in this little area right there where you see that circle at, that is where Lloyd's of London, they need insurance to go through there because it's dangerous. I mean, look, it's dangerous or whatever. So they need insurance to go for all the ships that's going through here. Lloyd's of London trying to screw over, maybe not screw over. Maybe they just said this is not in their best interest because if a couple of those things blow up, they don't got the money. I don't know what it was. But the idea is to screw over Trump. What Lloyd's of London decided that they were going to do is that they were going to not insure any of the damn the oil tankers coming through the strait. So since they're not going to insure any of the oil tankers coming through the strait, nobody's going to move oil. So what Trump said is, we're not only going to give you insurance, we're going to also send our military to make sure that everything is okay. Let's ask, how much money does Lloyd's of London makes off of this area a year? Let's find out. Can I get that out of here? Let's find out. Okay, so it is highly... Let's read all of this. Why not? No, that's just where it's at. It's highly likely that this is a misunderstanding as the information regarding the Strait of Hormuz relates to the major trading houses and insurance companies such as Lloyd of London Market, which provides insurance, or various energy companies involved in the nearly $600 billion annual trade. So $600 billion of annual trade goes through there a year. I don't know how much money they making, but that's $600 billion of insurance they're selling a year. Fam, Trump just pulled off a whole nother deal. Deals is just falling out the sky. He ain't got to do nothing. He didn't have to do nothing. Nothing. He was just already doing what he was already doing. Making sure that China has energy problems, which then prevents them from wanting to start wars all over the globe. Taiwan, China having an energy problem makes it not in their best interest to go after Taiwan. I'm going to say that again. China, in its best interest, China, while going through an energy crisis, it would not be in their best interest to then go after Taiwan. Do you get it? I don't think people get it. Like on some real shit, I don't think people be getting it. I think there is a disconnect. Like a extremely big disconnect. Because their intelligence isn't what it used to be when I was growing up. I give you an example. when I was growing up, if you knew how to fix a car, right? You knew how to fix a car, right? I'm going to change it a little. When I was growing up, if you were good at math, you were good at math. If you were good at read well, you were a good reader. If you were good at science, you were good at science. But now, in this world that we live in, if you know anything, now you know everything. So you got people going to school to go get degrees in bullshit. Just so they can say that they have a degree, so they can argue with you over some shit that they don't know nothing about. Imagine. You don't even got to imagine it. You know how insane it is that they have people that's a part of the LGBT community that keep saying free Palestine and keep talking about how they want to be Muslim and how some of them are now Muslim apparently and things like that, and they really believe that if they go to these Muslim countries that they'll be safe. I saw a video of and I feel so bad for this young girl. There was some young white girl from some European country. I don't know if she's from America. I don't know what country she was from. And I'm pretty sure this is happening to a lot of women. A lot of people went at me, but anyway. She met some Muslim dude online, and then the Muslim dude convinced her to like go to Gaza or somewhere, something like that. And they have the video of her. And she's like stumbling, walking, and like picking her up. And she could barely walk. And you could tell they done did terrible things to her. You know what I'm saying? And then I heard that at some point after that happened, because this is a video from a couple of years ago, she was unalived. So she was somewhere safe. And she heard all of this rhetoric and banter that these Democrats and these liberals around the world put out. And she, in her heart of hearts, wanted to go do some good in the world. And she really believed that those people were doing good also. So she took this fantasy that she had been given from the liberals and went to go live it out. See, this is the problem. When our fantasies don't align, everything's a nightmare. Our fantasy gotta align. Like if you trying to marry a woman, do y'all fantasies align? You might be, dating because you bored, or she might be dating because you bored, and you might be dating because you want to get married, or she might be dating because she want to get married. If so, and that's not, then y'all fantasies don't align. Do your fantasy align? I feel bad for that young girl. She's probably like late teens, early 20s. I feel bad for her. Not just because of what happened to her, but because she was brainwashed to leave her safety. They did that to all women. They came to all women and told all women, y'all want to be independent. Y'all don't want no safety and no man. There's women out here that only want to get married so they could get divorced. I don't know no other way to tell you this. Find yourself, first of all, find the Lord, man or woman. Or just find the Lord. I know it could be scary in the beginning looking for him. Your new guy in the room. You know what I'm saying? I get it. But go find the Lord. And then, ask the Lord to look into your heart and bring you something that you can manage that will make you happy. Too many people want things that they can't manage. Then they get it and they don't know what to do with it. You know, sometimes you might fumble. Sometimes I maybe have fumbled people like that, but I know for a fact that there's people that fumble me like that. And it's okay. Still love them. All of them. Still love them. No hate. Got people I haven't talked to might be about 10, 15 years. And I wish they didn't fumble me. With that being said, Donald Trump just got the Lloyd's of London's insurance contracts for the Strait of Hormuz, or whatever the hell that place is called, and $600 billion worth of petrol and petrol products or whatever goes through there a year. He's accidentally making America not just wealthier, but that's more power being given to America. I need for y'all to understand, these liberals are crazy. They're crazy. That's not hyperbole. I'm not exaggerating. In no way. I need y'all to understand how crazy they are. Trump goes and gets Maduro. The people of Venezuela are so grateful. At least the people that live there. I can't speak about the people that live anywhere else. I'm supposing that there's people that are from Venezuela that's mad that it happened. I'm that's fine. It's fine or whatever. I'm not shooting at them. But we see the people of Venezuela cheering and so happy. They saying they're free. And the Democrats want Maduro reinserted back into power. Even though the whole entire nation is celebrating almost. And then we seen the same thing happen right again in Iran. The whole nation. So not just the whole nation. The people from the nation that don't live there. I think Iran celebrated more than Venezuelans. And that's only because I know some actual Venezuelans that I don't think were happy about it. I don't understand. I don't talk to them about it. I love them. If it was a bad thing, it was a bad thing. I don't know. I just think it's... I don't know. But I do know a Venezuelan person, I think, that is upset about it. I think they are. A wonderful person, though. But it is what it is. I wanted... Because I wanted full clarity. I don't want to make it sound like every single Venezuelan on the planet is happy. Because I at least know one that isn't. Just so we can be clear. So, and once again, wonderful person. Just, I'm not naming nobody or nothing. I'm not talking about nobody. You can't know who I'm talking about. Nobody know. Wonderful person, just so we can be clear. But, you know, and I don't know if they're upset. They just gave me the impression like they were upset. I don't know. I didn't understand it. In any regard, overwhelmingly, though, the Venezuelan people in Venezuela celebrated. Some celebrated in America. Same thing with Iran. And what do the Democrats do? The Democrats are upset that these oppressed people are now being freed. I need for you to understand this. while they yell that Trump is a dictator. I think they're just a party of exaggeration. So, shout out to the Most High, glory be to God, Jesus is King. This is why I see through a lot of this shit, because that's what people do to me. They exaggerate the littlest, tiniest thing, and then they make it super big. So, I'm not saying no names. I'm not saying no place or nothing. I'm just going to tell you about a mannerism, a thing that I have to deal with. So, there's some people that I have to deal with that whenever they're anywhere near my facility, they try to keep, like, they try to make it either seem like we're close enough to be talking to one another, or they try to, like, get into a conversation with me. But they don't really want to talk to me about nothing. They just want to make it seem like I'm attacking them. So anything that come out of my mouth, if I say anything at all in their direction, they're going to be like, oh, please don't do nothing to me. Hand to God like I love Jesus. Hand to God like I love Jesus. If I say anything to them, anything, they cower like this. And be like, oh, sorry, I'm so... Hand to God. It's... These are just some of the... I don't even want to talk. I don't even want to say nothing about... Anyway, so they do this. So... It's because I have to live through situations like that I look at the world the way that I do. And I get it. A lot of y'all guys not on this side of the fence. Y'all on the other side of the fence where y'all get together and do shit to people. Because you're on one side of the fence or the other. There is nobody in the middle. You're either a part of the people that go out and do evil shit to people, or you're one of the people that people are just doing evil shit to. Because that's the time that we live in. People are being exposed. Those are the only two type of people around now. I'll give you a better example for you to understand the difference of who these people are. The people that's trying their hardest to work in the word of the Lord, and the people who hate the word of the Lord. So there's two groups of people. It's absolutely insane when these people do this too. And then they also stand around all the whole time wondering why I don't talk to them. They're crazy. They're fucking crazy. My life is that people lives shouldn't be like this, man. People lives, real life shouldn't be like this, man. This is like a real life. Jesus, part of my life. Real life shouldn't be like this, man. Anyway, so when Trump goes, we still talking about the strait. So when Trump goes, and now America is the primary or the only insurance company for that strait, and on top of that, America is also going to send their ships to make sure nothing don't happen. Lloyd's of London is never getting that contract back. They're never getting that contract back. It's a wrap. I'm going to tell you something that's interesting. I need y'all to bear with me. It's in the Bible. So in the Bible, when they're talking about the end of days, they're talking about a lady that's on a 7-headed dragon. And so initially, I was like, yo, as soon as Hillary Clinton started running for presidency, I was like, Hillary Clinton, Hillary Clinton, Hillary Clinton. But things have happened, and I know it's not Hillary Clinton. It might not be this other person I'm about to name, but I doubt it's Hillary Clinton. Y'all want to know when all of this started happening? When all of this whole awakening started happening. I'm only talking about the awakening, specifically the Christian awakening on the planet. Y'all want to know when all of this actually started happening? Or at least it seems to me like it started happening? The minute Queen Elizabeth passed away. The minute Queen Elizabeth passed away, all of this started happening. Are you trying to tell me this whole entire time everything was being ran by the English government? Queen Elizabeth really was the queen of the whole entire planet all of this time and none of us knew? How many continents are there? Just something to think about. Just something to think about. How many continents are there? In any regard, Democrats, man. Don't worry. I'm about to tell y'all what's gonna happen, right? You got a lot of people who are just gonna be stubborn. And they're going to still keep saying Trump bad, Trump bad, Trump bad, Trump bad, Trump bad. They're never going to stop because they can't now. At least that's the way they feel. But in reality, they can. Like at any point, they could just say, I'm not crazy anymore. Or they could just say, maybe Trump isn't as bad as I thought. Let's not call everybody that hate Trump crazy. I'm going to take that back. They could be like, maybe he's not as bad as I thought. Or maybe he's as bad as I thought, but so many of the things that he's doing is benefiting America. Maybe that. I don't know. But at some point, and I'm not saying Americans, I'm saying earthlings, at some point are going to deem these liberals as some of the craziest people that have ever lived, existed. Because remember, these Persians, the people that live in Iran, they know how bad it is. The people that live in Venezuela, they know how bad it is. The people that live in all of these countries that Trump is going to eventually move on to, they know how terrible their countries are. They know about the drugs, the human trafficking. They know about all of this. They know how terrible their country is. They know that this is something that needs to be done. And then you have the white liberal, mostly, fighting to prevent good change. What do you do when the whole entire planet thinks you're stupid? And you are running around with like a degree in, I don't know, sports sciences. And because you have a degree in sports science, you believe that you could tell everybody things about politics. Because you got a degree in women's studies. Now all of a sudden, you know everything that has to deal with the way the solar system works or something. Because you got a degree in, I don't know, horse operating, I don't know, whatever, horse training. You got some kind of, useless degree that have no application in real life. You have one of those degrees. One of those extremely specific, universities was allowing people to make up their own ideas for degrees. You know that, right? Like you could come up with your own, you could create your own course. You know they was doing that, right? So people was literally coming out of college with degrees where they're the only person that's ever going to have this degree because it's so specific to this one thing that the job doesn't even exist. This person just wanted to spend money to have a degree to say this thing. These are the people running around talking about they're the most educated people. They got degrees and shit that don't matter. You know how they be like, yo, the end of the world is coming. Who do we save? Save the scientist. Save the doctor. Y'all niggas is not getting saved. Y'all gonna be like, oh, what about us? People gonna look at y'all and be like, first of all, they're all the problems. They're the reason why the whole world is. They're the reason why we doing this in the first place. Get out of here. Imagine the Iranian people celebrating in the streets, and then the white liberals pulling up on them, telling them they should stop celebrating. Because by celebrating, you're making Trump look good. And these people been waiting to be freed for like 47 years. You got white liberals saying you can't be happy because nobody could see you be happy because Trump. Even though you probably got like 10 relatives who was murdered and worse. You got people that you've seen blown up right in front of your face. All type of different terrible things that you've seen happen to people because of that regime. And the liberals are telling you that you can't be happy because Trump. Like, I know for a fact they don't understand how crazy they sound. I know they don't. But I really think we need to bring back asylums. Because I don't think our prison system could hold as many of the ones of them that need to go to jail. Because they're committing all types of different bullshits left and right. They don't understand the concept of crime. They believe crime could only happen if it happens against something that they believe in. Like, if they don't believe in something, they believe against it, then no crime could be committed against that thing. Because they don't like it. Like, these are the most narcissistic people I've ever seen. I know God is upset with them. God does not favor the narcissist. So Ecuador is now being bombed and whatnot. So they're moving in on Ecuador, which is smart. Reason being is they want to make sure they're trying to cut drugs. See, so I'm going to say this, and I need for y'all to understand. America decriminalizes marijuana. So if America becomes a marijuana dealer, who are their ops? Now, anybody that knows anything about the drug game, been around it, knows some people, heard some conversations, you know a couple of things. And one is certain drugs bring certain types of crimes that are associated with those drugs because all of the money that is involved in those drugs. Like, you're dealing with heroin and stuff like that. Like, big time, like, you know, wait, y'all gonna have to kill some fools sooner or later. That's the shit I don't get about people. Like, when you start making a certain amount of money, like, illegally, you're gonna have to kill somebody sooner or later. That's why I respect AZ. Because AZ was like, I don't really think this is too much, I'm back out of it. And he backed out of it to whatever degree he decided to, and I'm gonna leave that alone. But yes, y'all keep forgetting. America is in the marijuana business. It is in America's best interest to get the dope, to get the cocaine, prevent those things from coming into our nation. It's in America's best interest. For multiple different reasons. What I want them to start doing is, and I can't wait for them to get on this. And for all of y'all out there selling dope, it is what it is. You know what type of time it is. Not for the people specifically that's selling dope. Whatever charges y'all got for them, keep them. But for the people that lace marijuana, there needs to be levels of charges above that. Because marijuana is now a decriminalized substance. So it should be treated like if you poison food. Like, you know, if you poison somebody's food, fam, you might as well, like, forget about the next, like, big chunk of years of your life. Like, you going away. It's like if you intentionally hitting people with cars and shit like that, they put you away. Because that's the type of behavior that can't be monitored. You understand what I'm saying? Like, that's not some shit they can monitor you on. You could anytime decide to start poisoning people. Anytime you could jump behind the wheel of a damn car and then decide accelerator on. So that's what I think they should start doing. These mofos that's out here, they find you selling weed and there's anything in your weed other than weed. I need to be like a minimum 15 years. You better start talking. Well, so you're not the one that put it in? Who you bought it from? Because they taking the same weed that they're lacing and they shouldn't be selling it to 11-year-olds and 12-year-olds. But guess what they're doing? They're selling it to 11-year-olds and 12-year-olds. So I think that if they find people, and on top of that, if you selling weed, and you know, you're not supposed to be selling weed out in the street anyway, right? But if you selling weed, and they find you selling weed, and you got some kind of dope or some shit on you also, then they should hit you the same way. If you selling weed and there's a nigga right there, he's selling some shit that ain't weed, then y'all should be hit the same way. They about to get all of these other drugs up out of here. These drugs is about to go the way. They're not going to go the way of the dinosaur because you're never going to be able to eliminate it all the way. But look for the next, before Trump leaves office, look before he leaves office, look for the sentencing for shit like cocaine and heroin to go through the roof. Watch it, it's gonna, because the only way to stop people from selling those drugs is if you catch them selling it, to never put them back out on the street. That's the only way. There's no other way. And people could do what they want with it. So yeah, they pulled up to another country because they're gonna stop the cocaine and all of this other shit from coming into the country as best as they can, because it's in America's best interest. I just explained it. Why do you think they also going after the pharmaceutical companies? Once America became in the business of decriminalizing marijuana, they became in the drug business. Obama and them just wasn't looking at it the same way that Trump and them is looking at it. Also, remember, Trump, allegedly, he's never had a drink or anything. I think it's time to get something to eat. What time is it? How long have I been over here? Hour and a half? Yeah, so Trump, he's allegedly he's nothing. Zero drugs, zero alcohol. His older brother, was an alcoholic, and apparently that's what led to his, like, deciding, look, I'm just not taking no drugs. I'm just not. See how this guy came out. I got responsibilities. Other people got big plans for me. I got big plans for me. I don't got time for that. That might be what saved them also from not getting involved in a lot of the shenanigans that people do. Because one of the things, and we know this to be true, that people like to do is when they try to, and I'm going to tell you about a story in 2 seconds, when they try to, when they want to convince you to do something that they don't think you would normally want to do, they drug you. I'm going to tell you about a story real quick. So I was at some people's house. I'm going to even tell you how crazy it was. I'm not telling you who the people is. I'm just telling you what happened. If the people want to out themselves, that's on them. This is not gossiping. This is my testimony. I was at some people's house that I know. It was one of the chicks. It was me, a dude. It was 2 chicks. One of the chicks was married to the dude, and the other chick was the dude's girlfriend. So I've been to this house a few times, hung out with them. I considered these people good people. Just so we could be clear. We're playing spades. They go get me a drink. Smoking, drinking, playing spades, enjoying the spades, loving it. You know them motherfuckers spiked my drink. So I drink some of the alcohol, and I get hot, and it's like you can't think. It's like you can't finish a sentence, like in your thoughts, like, you know what I'm saying, like confused. So the house I was staying at was down the block. I didn't know. So I get up and like, I gotta go. I don't feel well. And they're like, no, you're all right. Don't worry. You want to lay down, stuff like that. I'm like, nah, I don't feel well. I gotta go. And so one of the females first came out. And you can tell by the way that she was trying to convince me to stay. Like, I don't know about y'all, but, and I don't know if this is something I'm supposed to be proud of or not, but I've turned down sex with women before. You know, different fears. Sometimes it's like, you know, this ain't the right time for whatever the reason might be. I want to do it. This just ain't the right place or whatever. And sometimes it's because she did something wrong. And I'm like, I gotta go. She gave me that energy. So, those people drugged me. I really haven't drank much after. I don't even drink anymore. Like, I don't think I've had an alcoholic drink in like the last 7-8 months. I don't really drink anymore. Like, not even alone. Can't trust me. People crazy. And I think all 3 of them wanted to have sex with me. I'm not that handsome, fam, and I damn sure ain't that funny. What the fuck, yo? To be honest with you, I'm not that handsome, man, and I'm damn sure ain't that funny, man. That was not necessary. And I don't like having sex with a lot of people. I'm not that guy. I don't look at life as having a whole bunch of heads on the wall. But I tell you this much. I've had quite a few girlfriends a lot of dudes can't pull. I promise you on that. But nah, I'm not out here to bang everything. I don't even like females that everybody is. I don't even like y'all. Like that. Not like that. Y'all like dope people. We could go out there, hey, we could chill and shit. What? Like, I'm not even on it like that, man. And I'm not mad at y'all neither, and I'm also not judging anybody, just so we could be clear. You gotta say these things because people take shit out of context. It's just that, like, that's just not for me. It's not for me. But yeah, she gave me that look in her eye, like when, you know, shorty think you gonna break up with her because she just did some stupid shit, and you trying to leave, and she trying to get you to stay, and that's when she's holding you like in here, like this. She's trying to be like small to you and like in your arms and shit. She was like kind of like doing that shit to me, fam. It's this nigga's wife. It's cause bananas. That's why I stay to myself. I'm not on that type of time. That sounds like something God does not want us doing. I'm not on that type of time. I do enough stuff that God wants me to stop doing. Alright? I do enough. I don't want to add to nothing. I don't want to add no more. I want to get rid of some of the stuff that I'm not supposed to be doing. Well, I'm not adding shit. Anyway, we're about to end this. I think I want to go get me something. I think I want to get me a snack. Make me a snack or something. Be honest with you. But be patient with your Democratic loved ones. Just be patient with them. At this point, I know they know that they're wrong. Like the sensible ones, not the crazy ones. The crazy ones, they just forget about them. They done. Just love them and, you know, appreciate them. That's all I can tell you. Just love them and appreciate them. It is what it is. But, you know, not the crazy ones. I'm talking about the other people that they were just tricked. They just was tricked. That was it. They really, you know, thought there was a plan. They really thought that it was going somewhere. You know, sometimes that's all that happens. You know, sometimes people aren't bad people. They just really think it's going somewhere. They really think that there's a plan. They really think this and they really think that because they was given that impression. You understand what I'm saying? And then you hear a lie and you're like, well, I don't want to just jump off the boat. You know, you hear another thing that might sound crazy. I don't want to just leave. It might be going somewhere. Then you hear something and it might give a little bit more fuel. I knew there was something around the corner. Then you hear, like, so this is what they're doing to their people. They're making them go like this, because they're just telling them a lie, and they're up here, and then the lie gets found out, then they back down here, and they tell them another lie, then they up here, and they people just going like this, and it's an emotional roller coaster. So be patient to those people. Some people are just being tricked, fam. And not because they lack intelligence. It's because they want to have faith. There's a difference. You know, it's not naivete. All right? It's wanting to believe in something. Because, just so we could be clear, imagine the people that's been voting Democrat since like the 80s and the 90s. They've been voting Democrat since the 80s, 90s. And now they finding out, damn, you know how many times I voted against my best interests? You know how many times I voted for people that hate God? You know how many times I voted for the enemy? They got to reconcile with this. You know, because I had to. When I stopped and I realized what being a part of the Democratic Party was, I had to reconcile that. That's not an easy thing. That's not for me, it was probably a lot more simpler for me than for a lot of other people because the decision was not an emotional one for me. But a lot of people are connected to the Democratic Party emotionally. I've never been emotionally connected to these people. In no way, shape, or form. Because it's always been God first. So I've never been connected to those guys emotionally. But for a lot of people, they're emotionally connected to the Democratic Party. And when they hear something that is negative about the Democratic Party, they feel like you're attacking them when you're not. You're like, yo, look, I'm not attacking you, fam. Yeah, but you said Democrat. Yeah, I did say Democrats. But are you a Democrat or are you a human? I think you're a human that belongs to a party that is the Democratic Party. So no, you're not a Democrat. You're a human that belongs to a Democratic Party. Now, when I say I don't like Democrats, I don't like the Democratic way. I don't like what the party pushes. Can the party push something else and I change my mind? Absolutely. But there is no way I'm going to be for child sex changes. There's no way I'm going to be for men and women's sports. There's no way I'm going to understand men and women's bathrooms. This is just things that, these aren't things that can be discussed. And there's a ton of other things that there's no discussion. So I'm anti-Democrat. Because Democrats are anti-God. And for the people that's like, I'm a Democrat and I love God. No. If you loved God, you wouldn't be a Democrat. That's my point. You love calling yourself a Democrat more than you love God. Because you cannot say that you love God and be pro-LGBTQ. You literally cannot. I mean, you can say you love God, but it's not true. Even, it doesn't matter how much you think it's true. Well, I know how I feel. It doesn't, and some people think that they could play basketball as well as the NBA players. Because the NBA player is on the bench. Oh man, I bust his ass. He can't even get on the court. He will smoke you. I promise. Any NBA player, the G League niggas, will smoke most of you. Smoke y'all, not just win. Like, it's ugly. Y'all gonna be, real quick, I'm gonna explain to y'all the difference between NBA talent and y'all talent. Or our talent, however you want to say it. When you guard an NBA player, when you guard a player that's levels of talent above you, to them, they feel like they're going slow. To you, you feel like this is the fastest MF you've ever seen in your life. But to them, they're just going slow. They're not even going fast. They're going slow. But to you, there's no one quicker. What up, 516? I'm not going to say your name. There's levels to this. I promise you. Trump is gonna, he's not gonna have to invade Cuba, by the way. Cuba's gonna hand themselves over. And everybody forgot Greenland's still a thing. Trump is making, do y'all understand what Trump is doing? Trump is about to make almost every country America. And the Democrats are complaining. You don't think Venezuela wouldn't be, you don't think the Venezuelan government, not the government, but the Venezuelan people wouldn't be happy if they could be the 51st state and then immediately start benefiting from all of the things that Americans benefit from that they don't have down there? Like infrastructure. You think they would? See, the liberals will tell you that they don't want those things. But any sensible, logical person will say, yes, they will want billions of dollars influxed into their economy like every other state in the union gets from the federal government. Absolutely, they will want those things. Absolutely, they will want funding for their schools. Absolutely, they will want funding because these are what the federal government do. Absolutely, they will want billions of dollars for their schools and billions of dollars for their hospitals. Absolutely. But liberals are going to tell you they don't want these things. You understand? Liberals, there's something wrong with them. going after Ecuador. Specifically, they said human trafficking. What do you think that whole thing on Iran was? You think the Iran thing is only about oil? It's not. They fighting the human traffickers. That's what they're fighting right now. That's the real thing the Democrats are upset about. Who do you think owns the Democratic Party? The human traffickers. The global elite human traffickers. They own the Democratic Party. That's really what they're upset with Trump about. What do you think Trump was bombing over there in Iran? They wasn't just bombing buildings. They was bombing the area that the tunnels is under. There's tunnels under everything, fam. The world's been here for thousands of years. What do you think people was doing before we got to this advanced age? Where you could be above ground in a secure building. And we're building tunnels. There's tunnels everywhere. So this is about human trafficking. Once again, Venezuela, that was also about human trafficking. Iran, I promise you. It's about oil. And it's about all that other stuff also. But it's about human trafficking. I promise you. Ecuador, human trafficking. Drugs, absolutely. But also human trafficking. Because human trafficking goes with all of this shit. Watch when people really understand how big human trafficking is. Then you're gonna understand why we need to protect our women and children. Then you're gonna understand how evil it is when they come out here and try to tell you you could be a woman, you could do everything on your own, and you don't need a man. When you find out how many of these women were able to get stolen and kidnapped because they had that same exact mindset. And they lived alone somewhere, or they traveled alone all the time, and somebody was able to clock them. Y'all don't understand. These people are evil. This is evil. This isn't a difference of opinion. And this is why sometimes y'all have seen me argue with people over here, and y'all like, it's just an opinion. It don't be an opinion. I'm not arguing with the opinion. I'm arguing with the evil intent. Like, there's some things that we can't be okay with. We cannot be in compliance with. We cannot be agreeable with. Because by doing those things, we're going against God. So when y'all see me getting upset and upset at people in the chat a lot of times, that's why. It had zero to do with opinion. And I've done explain this already. But I get it. You know, not everybody messes with God. Not everybody is in favor of God. So I get it. You know what I'm saying? I get the not being understood. I don't get the not being in favor of God. That's insane. But I get the not being understood, because sometimes I forget there's people that actually think God is like not real or something. Or they think he's real, but they don't treat him like he's real. You know, they treat him like they could, you know, it's when they think about it. When they not thinking about God, God don't exist. But when they thinking about God, that's the only time he exists. You know what I'm saying? In any regard. Democratic Party got y'all out here looking crazy. Y'all looking straight local bananas. Jasmine Crockett plans lawsuit after losing Democratic primary. They cheated. What in the hell are you talking about? Who cheated? It was a Democratic primary. You're blaming the Republicans. How does that make sense? Yeah, man, I don't got time for this, yo. No, you don't. Wait, hold on. Do I know her? Is this what's her name? No. Okay. But that is dope how all of them chicks knew I was doing that thing. She cute. What was I doing? So yeah, this is all about human trafficking, fam. Watch when y'all find out. Like, see, this is the issue. We know we have epidemics in America like children coming up missing and everything else, right? We know that these are issues. We know even where the areas where children are just coming up missing, right? Why is it generally Democratic run areas? Why are the Democratic cities generally where kids come up missing? I mean, kids come up missing everywhere. Don't get it confused. But I'm talking about the places where it's really a problem. Places like Atlanta. Places like Louisiana. Places like Memphis. I forgot where in Jersey. There was a town in Jersey. There was an area in Jersey. I forgot where. But why these places where kids specifically keep coming up missing is democratically ran and elected areas. So Donald Trump has to, and I'm about to get out of here, but I'm going to say this real quick. So there's two things that Donald Trump should be trying to do before he ends his term. And both of these things probably need to be done in order for his own family to not get assassinated and put in prison and everything else, right? Unfairly, might I add, right? And the number one thing is he has to get rid of the child pedophile elite ring. He has to take all of them down. He has no choice. This is his only chance. The second thing is, and this is as important, if not more important, not as important, probably not more important, but as important is, he has to turn over the Democratic Party. What I mean by that is, he needs for the people who are in the Democratic Party to not leave the Democratic Party. What he needs for them to do is to understand that the far left is crazy. And for them to start shunning the far left. Once the Democratic Party starts shunning the far left, they're going to get strong. Because there are people who don't even have a problem with the Republican Party. Don't see them as racist or nothing. But they're Democrats and they would like to stay Democrats. That's just the team that they belong to. When there's not a Democrat for them to vote for it, they just don't vote. There's so many people that's like that. I don't like that candidate. And I'm not going to vote Republican. So I'm just not going to vote. Go about their day. So, and remember, it's about a strong America. It's not about a strong Republican Party. So what Donald Trump needs for is for the Democratic Party to get turned over. Because if the Democratic Party get turned over, then he don't have to worry about them trying to put him in jail no more. He don't have to worry about them trying to put his family in jail. He don't got to worry about these things. You understand what I'm saying? You know, these are not things that he's going to be concerned with. And he said something that was really interesting. He said that the dude that he just took out, the Ayatollah, he said, you tried twice. So that means that the times that they was trying to get him, they know who was trying to get him. They know who it was. it was Iran? Why were the Democrats trying to say that it was Russia? I'm going to tell you two things the Democrats do that they just don't make sense to me. They always say Trump and Russia is like this, and every single time something happens to Trump bad, they also blame that on Russia. Like, they think the people that vote in their party are stupid. Like, they think y'all are stupid. Like, they think y'all complete morons. I don't. They do. And I know they do because of the shit they tell y'all. They tell y'all lies that a 5-year-old wouldn't believe. I promise you. Most of this crap that they tell y'all that y'all believe, if somebody just said that to a 5-year-old, I don't think the 5-year-old will believe it. With 5-year-old logic and knowledge. Not with, like, with only being on the world for 5 years and only about 3 of those being anything that you could even ascertain anything going on making sense. A 5-year-old wouldn't believe half of the lies that these guys believe. Like, they believe stuff that don't make sense. They believe stuff that I know that they don't believe. They just trying to help the lie. That's how bad it is. Like, there's sometimes a person who's pro-Democrat might be talking to me about something, and I know they don't believe it. They just helping the lie. Because there's no way you this stupid. Like, I've had a ton of conversations with you. I know you. I know that you ain't this stupid. But so now I got to question your integrity. Because you're not that stupid. But you might not. You might lack integrity. Your integrity might be in question. And we're probably not going to be the same friend. I'd rather you be stupid. Like, but I know you're not. I'd rather you be not that smart. We're not going to say stupid. But I'd rather you be not that smart than lack integrity. Like, integrity is important. That's important. I'd rather you just not be that smart. I'd rather they just trick you. Then you know it's a lie and do it anyway because, you know, whatever. You lack integrity. I'm going to let y'all get up out of here. I got the goals. I got all of the goals. I don't know if I'm going to make me a hamburger. I'm thinking about making a hamburger. I think I'm going to make a hamburger. A cheeseburger. I got a lot of cheeseburgers in there. I got like a ton of cheeseburgers. So apparently, I got not just got cheeseburgers, but I got like 2 different types of hamburgers. I got some Angus burgers. I'm gonna make the Angus. You know, Angus burgers only called the Angus burger because of the way that they raised the cow. Like it's not nothing special. Like, it's not nothing special. Like, the cow didn't even necessarily need to be healthy. Like, it just. You gotta go look that up. Like, it don't make. It's all trickery. All this shit is trickery, fam. I promise you. Most of the stuff going on is just trickery. Like, sometimes I'm gonna tell you something. So sometimes I might be, especially if I'm talking to somebody. Like, this happens when I'm talking to somebody I actually like you, and like, not like you, like want to be with you. Like, there's literally only one person I'm interested in. But like you, like you're a cool person, you know. But I might have to date some other I might date this other girl that, you know, I don't know. I might give her a chance because, I mean, I don't never see the other girl no more. But I don't know. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. So, I mean, I did just see her. You know what? That's neither here nor there. My fault. My apologies. What was I talking about? You know what? We're just gonna go because I forgot what I was. Oh, hamburgers. Oh no, I was past that. My fault, y'all. I'm just so. We're talking about Democrats. We're talking about integrities. We're talking about the Democrats. Sometimes people are lacking integrities. I completely lost my train of thought. 100% because I thought about that person. Sheesh. Alright, I'm just gonna let y'all go. I'm gonna go get me something to eat. I'm gonna make some hamburgers. I'm gonna make some hamburgers. I don't know what to tell you. But the Democrats, be patient with your Democratic loved ones. honest. Just be patient with them. Be patient. You know, they got to reconcile with the fact that, you know, I only voted a couple of times before I figured out about the Democrats, by the way. Like, I only voted, like, in maybe a couple of elections. Like, not even that many. And that's when I before I figured out what kind of BS the Democrats was on. Because I'm not really a voter in the first place. You understand what I'm saying? Like, because if you pushing something that I don't agree with, I don't care how many of the stuff you push that I do agree with, I'm not voting for you. Like, if you push 99 things that I agree with, and you push one thing that I just opposes God, just one thing, and it goes against God, I'm not voting for you. Period. I don't care. I don't even care who wins. I'm not throwing my hat in that ring. Because I understand what I'm doing to my soul when I go vote for somebody that their policies oppose God. I understand what I'm doing. You understand what I'm saying? Like, I'm going against God. Imagine you vote for somebody who their policies go against God, and then you go to church on Sunday. Like, that's crazy. Like, that's literally crazy. Imagine you go out in the world and you preach all of these democratic. Imagine being a feminist and going to church. You know how insane that is? I'm gonna say this again, just for you to understand this. Imagine being a feminist and going into the house of the most misogynist, of the most masculine, not misogynist, of the most masculine thing that ever has been in existence, ever can be in existence, and ever will be in existence. I'm going to say this again. Imagine being a feminist and walking into the house of God, which is the most masculine thing to have ever existed, that is existing, and that will ever exist. You spent all day basically protesting God. All week, you've basically been protesting God. Because that's all feminists is doing, whether you realize it or not. They're protesting God. So all week, you're protesting God, basically. Because down with men. And then you go to church on Sunday. You know what God says about hypocrites. Like, comment, subscribes. Shots fired. Join the team. Like, comments. I forgot how it goes. With that being said, I'm out. Everybody have a blessed day. Salute.